topic chloramphenicol. So chloramphenicol, no, it is the first of the widely used broad spectrum antibiotic, and it was the first and still it is the only therapeutically important antibiotic to be produced in competition with microbiological processes. Now we will see the source of chloramphenicol. So it is obtained from Streptomyces venezuelae. Now we will see the structure of chloramphenicol. So this is the structure of chloramphenicol. So what is that? First it is having paranitrophenyl ring that is attached with that. So it is having 3 carbons, no, so that it can be called as propane, and the first and the third, no, that is having hydroxy group. That's why it is called propan 1,3 diol, and the second carbon of propan 1,3 diol, that is having this group. So here already we have known CH3CONH2, that can be called acetamide. Now here this is the first carbon and this is the second carbon. So second carbon of acetamide is having dichloro groups. So 2 chlorine groups, that's why it is called 2,2-dichloroacetamide. So what are all present in the structure of chloramphenicol? So paranitrophenyl ring that is attached with the propan 1,3 diol, and second carbon of propan 1,3 diol is having 2,2-dichloroacetamide group. Now here this 2,2-dichloroacetamide and propan 1,3 diol, no, they can be combinedly called as acyl amido propanediol side chain. So what is the side chain present in chloramphenicol? That is called acyl amido propanediol side chain. Now we can tell the chemical name for chloramphenicol. So for that we have to choose the parent. So here I have chosen this as a parent, that is called propan 1,3 diol. So with the propan 1,3 diol, what all attached is the second carbon we have dichloroacetamide, and with the first carbon we have paranitrophenyl. So its chemical name is called 2-dichloroacetamido 1-paranitrophenyl propan 1,3 diol or 1,3-propanediol. So 2-dichloroacetamido 1-paranitrophenyl 1,3-propanediol or propan 1,3 diol. Now we have to tell about the asymmetric carbon atoms. So look at the structure of this one. So here come to this ring, this is a 6-numbered ring, that is a benzene ring. So because of the presence of this double bond, the 6 carbons, no, they are not considered as chiral, because what is meant by chiral? That should have 4 different groups. Okay, so these 6 are not considered as chiral. And come to this one, here one connection, here one bond, here hydrogen, here hydroxy group. That's why this carbon can be considered as chiral. And similar to that, the second carbon also would be chiral, because here one end, here one end, here one end, and here we have hydrogen. So 4 different groups. That's why this carbon is also a chiral carbon. And come to this one. So because of the presence of 2 similar groups, it is not a chiral. And come to this one. So here it is connected to oxygen by means of double bond. So it is not a chiral. And come to this carbon. So here it is having 2 chlorine. So 2 similar groups. So it is not chiral. So in the whole structure of chloramphenicol, only the first carbon and second carbon are considered as chiral. Okay. So totally it is having 2 chiral carbon atoms. So we have, if you are getting 2 chiral carbons, it can be as a trio form or erythro form. So now we have to tell about whether it is erythro or trio. So what is meant by erythro? Similar groups are attached on the same side means that is called as erythro, and similar groups are attached on the opposite side means that is called as trio. Now here it is having 2 hydrogens, so these 2 are similar groups. So they are attached on the opposite side, that's why it is called trio. That's why it is called trio 2-dichloroacetamido. So it is the trio form. Now while comparing with the structure of L-norepinephrine, L-pseudonorepinephrine and D series, it is getting D-trio configuration. That's why it is getting the name D-trio 2-dichloroacetamido 1-paranitrophenyl 1,3-propanediol. So that is the chemical name for chloramphenicol. Now in the chloramphenicol, in the para portion, it is having nitro group. So here because of the presence of this, it can be reduced, diazotized or coupled with beta naphthol to form red azo dye. So this because of the formation of this one, it is used for the quantification of chloramphenicol. Now we will see the hydrolysis reaction of chloramphenicol. We have known the structure of chloramphenicol. So this is the structure of chloramphenicol. It undergoes hydrolysis by means of acid or alkali. So on hydrolysis, what happens here? A bond between carbon and nitrogen, no. So this bond would be broken. So on broken, what happens? Hydrogen combines with here we have NH no, so with the NH hydrogen would be added and the hydroxy group would be added with the carbon. So because of the breakage, what happens by and also by the addition of that hydrogen, we are getting one amine derivative, the whole structure no, so this can be called as amine derivative, that is the base, and we are getting an acid derivative. So what happens here, a breakage between carbon and nitrogen, here H is added with the nitrogen and hydroxy group is added with the carbon. So what you are getting, so here we are getting an amine derivative, that is the base, and that is called as 2-amino 1-paranitrophenyl 1,3-propanediol or 2-amino 1-paranitrophenyl propan 1,3-diol plus one acid derivative, that is called dichloroacetic acid. So on hydrolysis we are getting, so hydrolysis of chloramphenicol, so on hydrolysis we are getting one acid derivative, that is called dichloroacetic acid, and a base, that is called as 2-amino 1-paranitrophenyl 1,3-propanediol. Now we will see the synthesis of chloramphenicol. Here the starting material for that is para-nitroacetophenone. So what is that? Para-nitroacetophenone. So without NH2 this can be called acetophenone. So what is acetophenone? C6H5COCH3. So this is acetophenone. So para portion is attached with nitro group, that's why it is called para-nitroacetophenone. First it undergoes bromination. So bromination by means of bromine or acetic acid. So on bromination what happens here, one bromine combines with H and removed as HBr, and the left bromine is attached with the CH2Br. That's why we are getting CH2Br. So instead of CH3 we are getting CH2Br. Next it undergoes amination. So amination means addition of NH2, that is by means of hexamine, or we can use ammonia. So on that one H combines with Br and removed as HBr, and the left NH2 no, so that is attached here. So we are getting that. Then it undergoes acetylation. So acetylation by means of acetic anhydride. What is acetylation? Addition of COCH, addition of acetyl group can be called acetylation. So here H is here H we have that no, so that is replaced by means of acetyl. So we are getting acetyl derivative. Now we are going for formylation by means of formaldehyde. So what is meant by formylation? Addition of formal group that can be called as formylation. So here we have CH2 no, from that one H should be taken. So already here we have C2H, that's why it is called CH2O. So this CH2O combines with this H, that's why it is converted to CH2OH, and that is attached with the same carbon. So with this carbon what is added? CH2OH is added, that is called formylation. Then it undergoes Mervin-Pondrow-Verley reduction by means of aluminium isopropoxide in isopropanol. So what is meant by Mervin-Pondrow-Verley reduction? That can reduce aldehydes or ketones into corresponding alcohols. So already we have known this. So what is that? If it is a primary alcohol, that on oxidation we are getting aldehyde, aldehyde on oxidation we are getting acid. So secondary alcohol on oxidation we are getting ketone, ketone on oxidation we are getting acid. So the reverse, acid on reduction we are getting aldehyde, aldehyde on further reduction, aldehyde on reduction we are getting primary alcohol. So acid on reduction we are getting ketone, ketone on reduction we are getting secondary alcohol. So if it is an aldehyde, that would be reduced to give primary alcohol. If it is a ketone, that should be reduced to give secondary alcohol. So they are the corresponding alcohols. So for aldehyde it is primary alcohol, for ketone it is secondary alcohol. Now come here, here we have a ketone. So this ketone undergoes Mervin-Pondrow-Verley reduction. So what is meant by Mervin-Pondrow-Verley reduction? Aldehydes or ketones would be reduced to give corresponding alcohols. So here what is the corresponding alcohol for ketone? So that is the secondary alcohol. So what is secondary alcohol? CHOH. That's why CHOH is coming here. Then it undergoes hydrolysis. So on hydrolysis what happens here? There may be a cleavage between these two. So between carbon and nitrogen, cleavage between these two, that is carbon and nitrogen. So here there is the cleavage and this acetic acid would be going, and here we have only NH2. So we got that. Now then it is treated with dichloroacetyl chloride. On this treatment what happens here? The Cl no. This Cl combines with H from here and removed as HCl, and the left group, that is COCHCl2, this is attached with NH. That's why we are getting that. So here we got plus or minus chloramphenicol, that is the both forms it is having, that is the racemic mixture of chloramphenicol. So what is meant by racemic mixture? That is having both dextro and levo forms. So how can we get the single form? That is by means of resolution. So what is meant by resolution? That is that is separating the two forms, that is plus form and minus form. So the resolution by means of D minus camphor sulfonic acid we are getting chloramphenicol. Now we will see the mechanism of action of chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol is binding with 50S ribosomal subunits and it is binding with A2451 and A2452 residues in 23S rRNA of the 50S ribosomal subunits. Actually this 50S ribosomal subunits, that is having 23S rRNA and that one is having A2451 and A2452 residues. So chloramphenicol is binding with these two residues and prevent the peptide bond formation and directly interfering with the substrate binding in the ribosome, and it finally inhibiting the protein synthesis. So what is the mechanism? Main point is it is binding with A2451 and A2452 residues in 23S rRNA of the 50S ribosomal subunits and inhibiting the protein synthesis. Now we will see the SAR of chloramphenicol. Already we have known the structure of chloramphenicol. So what is the structure? We have a para-nitrophenyl group that is attached with the propan 1,3-diol, and in the second carbon that is having dichloroacetamido group. So this is the structure of chloramphenicol. Now here we have nitro group in para position, no? So that is replaced by means of CN, CONH2 or NH2 or OH or NCH3 twice or NHR or NHCH2R or X or phenyl. So if you are replacing these groups by means of nitro or nitro group is replaced by means of these groups, means the activity would be reduced. Now here we have nitro group, no, that is attached in the para position of the phenyl ring. If you are changing the position, if you are shifting the nitro group from para position to meta or ortho, means the activity would be reduced. So the position of the nitro group, no, that is very important, that should be only in para. Now here we have a phenyl ring, no. So this phenyl ring can be replaced by means of, if it is replaced by means of naphthyl or pyridyl or quinolyl or thionenyl or furyl or cyclohexyl groups, means the activity would be reduced. So it should be only phenyl ring. And here we have dichloroacetamide group, no. So that can be replaced by means of trifluoroacetamide, means the activity would be increased. So we can replace this by means of trifluoroacetamide. Now here we have a primary alcohol, no, CH2OH. So this primary alcohol, this is very important. So if it is replaced by means of hydrogen or alkyl or secondary alcohol, means activity would be reduced. So that's all about the SAR of chloramphenicol. Now we will see the metabolism of chloramphenicol. The main metabolite is 3O-glucuronides, that is the third hydroxy group of chloramphenicol forms a glucuronide conjugate, but some minor reactions are there. We'll see one by one. First one is reduction of nitro group. We have a para nitro group, no, so that one would be reduced and we are getting amino group. And here we have amide in the side chain, no, that would be hydrolyzed. And the third one is alpha chloroacetamide undergoes hydrolysis, then that one undergoes reduction to form corresponding alpha hydroxy acetyl derivative. Now we will see the prodrugs of chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol is bitter in taste, so it can be given as chloramphenicol palmitate. It is a prodrug. So after taking, it is cleaved in the duodenum to liberate the active drug. Chloramphenicol has poor water solubility, that's why it is given as chloramphenicol hemisuccinate. And this one, no, it forms water soluble sodium salts, and that is cleaved in the body by lung, liver, kidney and blood esterases to produce the active compound, that is the chloramphenicol. Here the cleavage in muscles, no, that is very slow, so it is given as IV than IM. Now we will see the adverse effects of chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol causes blood dyscrasias, that is the abnormality in blood, and it causes decreased production of blood and causes pancytopenia. Pancytopenia is a collective term that is including anemia, leukopenia and thrombocytopenia. Already we have known about anemia, that is low level of RBC can be called anemia, low level of WBC can be called leukopenia and low level of platelets can be called thrombocytopenia. It causes aplastic anemia when it is used as an eye ointment. It causes bone marrow depression, that is why repeated blood counts are essential. As it is causing aplastic anemia, it should be supplemented with hematinic or iron preparations. It causes reversible inhibition of hematopoiesis, that for elderly patients or with renal insufficiency, and it causes grey baby syndrome, that is why it is contraindicated in infants. Now we will see the uses of chloramphenicol. It is used in the treatment of typhoid fever, plague, cholera, conjunctivitis, and in the case of conjunctivitis it is used as an eye ointment, and it is used in the treatment of Haemophilus infection, that is epiglottis and meningitis. For that it is used in combination with ampicillin, and it is used in the treatment of rickettsial infections.